So the brand that you see in front of you, are they about to blow up? We're gonna talk about that today on the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. Let's do this.
Purple skies at night always give a sign. Air like fire, you set it all to flames, yeah. You just burning it all down. Take it all, it's never enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. So Ben Holladay out of Weston, Missouri. Is this a brand that's about to blow up? They have been, over the past year or so, generating a lot of hype. There's been just a lot of information coming out about them. And I got to thinking, with what it is that they have going on, is this a company that is about to explode within the whiskey industry? We're going to talk about what each one of these have to offer. I'll kind of sip a little bit on their soft red wheat bourbon and just kind of go over a little bit about what each kind of has to offer in terms of not necessarily nosing and tasting notes, but just what each one of these kind of has to offer. So let's kind of focus again. We're going to go left to right and talk about what each one of them really kind of have to offer, what makes them slightly unique. For me, it's kind of a brand that over the past maybe several months, a year, has just really started to kind of creep up. More people started really talking about it. And I wanted to kind of just do a little feature on what it is that they have to offer and why it might be something that I think you might really need to kind of dive into a little bit more. All right, so let's first start with here on the left. This is going to be their standard offering, their Ben Holladay bottled in bond. However, it is age stated as 6 years. So their mash bill that they utilize on each one of these are going to be identical. However, you're going to swap out the rye for the soft red wheat portion. This one is going to be rye based, is coming in at 75% corn, 15% rye, 12% malted barley. On the side, and I'll kind of put this up on the screen right now, but they do show a distilled in terms of the season. This just happened to be distilled in the fall of 2016, then bottled on January 27th, 2023. So it does give you an actual distilled and bottled on date. So you love the transparency that they have there. Now, one of the other real fascinating things I think that this brand does that's different than anybody else is they, on the side label here, they are indicating not only are they DSP Missouri number 5, but it is showing that it's coming from warehouse C, and then there's several different floors. Now, in their ricks, they have up to 7 different floors, and it shows on each one of these not only what floor each one of the barrels that made up this blend came from, and it also includes the percentage of whiskey that comes from that particular floor. So for instance, this has 11% of floor number 7 barrels, 40% of floor number 4 barrels, 31% of barrels from floor number 3. So that in itself is something very different and unique. Love the transparency, love really everything that they've got going on. So really what is happening here is as they go through different distilling seasons, they are going to be able to give you something slightly different. So you may be able to pick up some subtle differences from different, whether it's spring or fall, whatever it may be. You might pull some different flavor notes from those based on barrels coming from different floors, different percentages. So again, it's something I really, really appreciate. So let's kind of move on to this here, which is their Holladay soft red wheat bottled in bond. Again, also aged 6 years, meaning the youngest whiskey within this blend is going to be, again, 6 years old. It is bottled in bond, so we know it's going to be 100 proof, just like this one. Now we're talking about a slightly different mash bill, this being 75% corn, 15% wheat, 12% malted barley. So like I mentioned before, we're swapping out the rye for the wheat in this. But again, same type of process that they give you on this one as well. It shows that this was distilled in spring of 2017. Rickhouse C bottled May of 2023. And again, each floor, 1 through 7, slightly different percentages of each floor barrels being blended to create this blend. So these right here are going to be their semi-standard offerings that you should be able to find, generally speaking, wherever it is that they are distributed to. So let's go ahead and move on to something that I think is very, very exciting, and maybe the whiskey or whiskeys that really truly put Ben Holladay on the map. These are both going to be referred to as their Rickhouse proof, which basically means just their barrel proof version. They've just coined it their Rickhouse proof, which again, kind of cool, a little bit different than what other people are utilizing. But again, they're going to utilize the same mash bill, again, whether it's the rye-based or wheat-based, again, whether it's 75% corn, 15% rye, 12% malted barley on this one. Proof on this one was going to come in at right around 120.1 proof. Like I mentioned before, what it is that I truly, truly appreciate about what they do is they show a distilled in fall of 2016, bottled August 18th, 2023. They are putting right here on the side, aged 6 years in new charred oak barrels. So we know that as a qualifier for bourbon, it has to be that. And again, 60.05% ABV or 120.1 proof. And again, floors 1 through 7 or 7 through 1, they are showing percentages of each floor and those barrels being blended together to create, again, this particular blend for that kind of distilling season. Again, I love the transparency, love everything about what it is they're doing. Again, the Ben Holladay 6-year Missouri straight bourbon whiskey, Rickhouse proof, small batch reserve is exactly what that one is. So let's move on to the fourth and last, but definitely not least. This again is going to be their Rickhouse proof Holladay soft red wheat. Again, they're utilizing 75% corn, 15% wheat, 12% malted barley. And again, like they've done with everything else along the way, they have been 100% transparent. More than just that, it is everything about the distilling process, where these barrels are coming from, just everything that anyone really truly wants to know, and be able to also pull out some of those subtle differences that each one of these batches are going to have. Because like I mentioned before, each one of these has upwards of 7 floors, and each one of these percentages are showing a particular amount of barrels that are worked into that small batch. Again, this one just happens to be distilled spring of 2017 from Rickhouse C, bottled October of 2023. And again, if you're looking for this one, or this is one that you have picked up, what this one is floor number 1, 2% of those barrels used. Floor number 2, 4% of those barrels. Floor 3, 13% of those barrels. Floor 4, 77% of those barrels. Floor 5, 4%. And floor 6 and 7, 0%. Again, the proof on this, 120.1 proof or 60.05% ABV. And again, all of this distilled 100% out of Weston, Missouri. They are not sourcing, they are 100% distilling everything that they have. So I really wanted to kind of just highlight the brand overall, kind of share with you some of their transparency, where the subtle differences may come from each different batch. They are continuing to age whiskey, so as they do that and the ages go up, they are probably going to start to change some or most of the age statements that are on there, but we're already getting a truly fantastic product at that 6-year range. Again, we know as a batch product that the youngest whiskey within that blend has to be what is listed on the bottle. And in this case, for all of these, it is 6 years old. Let me just give you a quick little idea now that we've kind of gone through some of the processes on these. Let me just give you kind of some of the tasting notes. Again, this is going to be their bottle and bond soft red wheat, again coming in at 100 proof. Beautiful, beautiful fruit notes. A lot of that kind of stone fruit, maybe even some cherry. Nice kind of softness that it has to it. Some caramels, vanillas. Beautiful oak that's there. A little bit of like a graham cracker, honey. All right, let's give this one a try. Cheers. Beautiful oak, beautiful spice for it being a wheated bourbon. Again, some of those stone fruits, a little bit of cherry, nice oak, great spice. Really kind of matches the nose. So you're getting a little bit of that kind of graham cracker, nice honey notes, vanillas, caramels, an awful lot going on. Also a little bit of an earthy characteristic that's giving this a little extra kind of punch. It's making it feel like a slightly older or more developed bourbon. So for what this has going on, and I'll do an individual review of this coming up, but again, I wanted to kind of highlight and showcase Ben Holladay as a brand and kind of what it is that they have not only now, but maybe some things that you start to see introduced to your particular market. If you've had something from Ben Holladay, make sure you leave a comment below. I'd be interested. I'm sure they'd be interested just to kind of see your thoughts on each one of these. Have you tried any of them? Have you tried all of them? Whatever it may be, I'd love to kind of hear that from you as well. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Greatly, greatly appreciate it. If you'd like to follow me, you can on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places at My Bourbon Journey. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can through my Patreon page. That'll be linked in the description below. That will also allow you to become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So there you guys go. Ben Holladay Distillery out of Weston, Missouri. Let me know your thoughts. Greatly appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.